Meghan Markle pulling
that was my story. They'd
pulling
like
festive
to.
crackers.
They'd like to.
Yeah, it was your story, yeah. But none of this is going to help because there is this belief, which may or may not be true in the case of this book. Fact. I don't know, right? But we know in the first book, Meghan Markle said she had nothing to do with it and then under oath had to admit she did. If it turns out the same has happened here and she's authorised friends to help him and give him stuff, because let's face it...
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
This exchange of letters between Charles and Meghan Markle, only one of them can have told people about that. And Charles is not the kind of guy that's going to be telling people about a letter like that, which makes me think it's her and her friends or somebody has gone to Scobie. We'll wait and see.
Are you serious?
But if that is the case, this is going to be very damaging to the ongoing trust issues between Charles and Harry.
Well, trust is the key issue, and I think that was something I touched on in that piece about them saying we wouldn't decline an invitation to spend time with the family. The problem is, as you just rightly said, imagine what a whole Christmas at Sandringham would produce in terms of potential future content. And I think looking at, the phone call between Charles and Harry and Meghan...
Stop it.
Around Charles' 70th birthday, it was briefed before it happened, and it was briefed after. And I think if you can't even have a private phone conversation that isn't briefed before or after...
I honestly wouldn't trust... If that was someone in my family... After what they've done?
Yeah.
Repeatedly, I wouldn't trust them as far as I could throw them.
Trust is the issue. And
fact.
That's not changing anytime soon.
Let's go to Kahindi Andrews, be waiting patiently here. Kahindi, we've talked a lot about race issues over the years, but specifically here, there is no doubt that when they went on Oprah Winfrey 2 years ago, they made a series of allegations directly inferring racism by senior members of the royal family, which they've never produced evidence for, and which 2 years later Harry said, oh, we didn't mean...
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
In racism, we meant unconscious bias and so on. Do you not feel that that is incredibly damaging to people like you who constantly fight battles for racial equality, racial justice?
Okay, I'm listening. You have my attention.
Try and fight proper battles about this. Is it not incredibly damaging to that when someone of their profile tries to pretend what they said to Oprah Winfrey was not what it was?
Stop it.
Well, no, I mean, I think the allegations when they came out, we all kind of believed it. It wasn't something that seems completely outrageous. Also, I'm not sure what evidence you could have. And actually, if you listen to the clips, they're clearly trying not to say the names because they know the names are going to cause this massive storm. But
are you serious?
I think a bigger problem with the whole way this has been portrayed is Oprah's shocked, everybody's shocked. No black person I know was shocked that this came up in a conversation in the royal family. And the bigger problem here really is that actually it isn't about racist royals.
Wait for it.
It's about the royal family is racism. It is a symbol of white supremacy. That's the bigger problem.
Because
the way we
white.
talk about this now is completely
because
ludicrous.
they're white.
No, not because they're white, but because they're white, because they are almost exclusively
white. Where is the
white,
evidence of them being white supremacists?
What is he doing?
Link back to the link back to colonialism. Why do we even... The idea that a country like Britain, which is incredibly diverse, an empire which was more diverse, is led by this almost exclusively white family into the 21st century. I'm sorry, that is
so you're judging them by their skin.
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
That's the issue of racism.
So just to be clear, you're judging them by their skin colour, not the content of their characters.
No. I'm saying their skin colour is not an accident. It is not an accident that Meghan Markle
is the
white.
First
Black person.
They can't help being white.
It is not an accident that she's run out of the family.
They're white. You're black. I'm white. We can't help our skin colour.
It's not about their skin colour. It's about what it represents. The idea that King Charles is the king of... My family's from Jamaica, which is 90% black people. And the head of state of Jamaica is the King Charles. It's ludicrous. That is a ludicrous thing in the 21st century. But that is what I'm saying. Symbol of white supremacy.
Well, you're going to have a vote.
I couldn't care less if it was Kate.
Listen, countries like Jamaica will have votes and they can decide...
It's not about having a vote. It's about the...
No, but the point is you can... There are countries choosing... There are countries like Jamaica choosing whether they want to go independent. That's absolutely a democratic right. You don't have to have our monarch as the head of state.
The fact that's a choice the fact that's a choice in the 21st century tells you there's a big problem.
But do you think anyone then, so anyone in the royal family, Hindi, just to be clear, anyone in the royal family, as far as you're concerned, is a white supremacist simply because they're white and they're part of the royal family?
What I'm saying is the royal family, like the police or like universities where I work, they are institutions of white supremacy. It's not about the
Stop it.
individuals. It's about what they do. It's about their role in the world. That's the real case. The royal family should be gone. It should be abolished. It shouldn't exist if we're talking about anti-racism. I really couldn't care less which royal said what, because that actually distracts.
What if they didn't say it at all?
Why on earth would
What if they didn't say it at all, but the whole world has been led for 2-3 years to believe that they did? What about that scenario?
Like I said, this doesn't, like for me, it really doesn't matter whether they said it or not.
Because you think they're all racist anyway, right?
Not about individual people say it's not they are all racist. They are in an institution which is racism, which is one of these primary symbols of racism.
You know, sometimes, Kehinde,
Wait for it.
It's surprising that I think.
I'm going to say sometimes, you know, when your default position, which it always is, by the way, is that everyone's a white supremacist if they've got white skin colour until they can prove otherwise.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
It is your default position.
That is not what I said.
And it is your default position.
Piers, you know it's not what I said.
That's always been your default position.
I said that the institution...
Any white people in any position of authority, power, anything, they're all white supremacists according to you. It does beg the question, why do you want to live in a country like this if they're all white supremacists?
Like I could go home back to Jamaica.
No,
but unfortunately,
I don't care.
The head of state is the king.
You can go.
It's the same problem. I can't even get away from it.
You can go where the hell you like. I'm just saying, why, honestly, why...
Nice.
Why stay in a country you believe is led in every pillar of the establishment and society by white supremacists? Makes no sense to me.
Because the reality is that that's the world. I didn't choose the world. That is the world that I inhabit. And I would stress, I'm not saying that all white people are white supremacists. I actually think when we think about racism as individual racists, it's the worst way to think about it. Think about the systems, think about the institutions. And the royal family is exclusively white for a reason. It is...
Are you serious?
The head of the so-called Commonwealth British Empire for a reason. It is a direct connection to the colonial history that this country loves so much. It is the premier symbol of white supremacy.
You know what? It's actually not exclusively white.
These comments.
It's not exclusively white because the Duchess
almost
of Sussex.
Exclusively. I said
the
almost
Duchess of Sussex is not
I
white.
said almost exclusively.
What she did do was she entered the royal
exception
family.
That proves the rule.
She launched a grenade of racism allegations and has ever since stayed silent about those.
She did
And let them run riot around the world. I mean, that to me...
She came into the royal family and her blackness was so much of an affront
in its way,
everybody lost their minds.
That, in its way, is a form of racism, actually.
Are you serious?
In my view, what she's done. But we'll see. We'll see how this all plays out now, because I've decided to name the two people named in the Holland version of this book. Let's see how this plays out. Let's see whether Meghan Markle and Harry were involved with Scobie's book. Let's see what Scobie and his involvement in this offending paragraph and naming was. Let's just see how this all plays out. And let's give the members of the royal family that they besmirched collectively, let's give them the chance to properly respond.
Okay.
Because I don't believe a word of it. Anyway, Kehinde, it's always good to talk to you. Thank you very much. Tom, good to see you. Roya, thank you very much indeed.
Solving your burglaries, solving crime.
Do you know what he wants? I think he just wants to have his royal cake and eat it. It basically boils down to that. He wants to be, like he tried to propose to the Queen, half in, half out. He wants the good stuff, the celebrity status, the money, the trappings, the royal protection. He just want to put the shifts in.
What the hell?
You know, in Cleethorpes on a wet Wednesday, going to an old people's home. And that's not the deal that the public has with the royal family. It's just not. The deal is they do all that stuff hundreds and hundreds of times a year, and in return, they get the trappings and they get the security and everything else.
Fact. I mean, his argument would be, well, I was born a prince. I didn't choose the way I was born. I am still a prince. Look at prime ministers. Former prime ministers still get their protection
they do.
in life, should they choose it.
Yeah.
Regardless of how long they serve.
They do.
He did serve. That's such a good point, Sarah. She's the winner.
Nobody would ever question the service he gave his country, least of all me.
You got me.
So let's keep his protection when he's here.
I wish that guy was still that guy. That's all I can say. My brother-in-law taught them at Sandhurst. William and Harry said he was a great little soldier.
But do you know what? If he got his protection, he'd come over
Why don't you
and give you more stuff to
ask
talk about.
100 soldiers what they think of Harry at the moment?
Well, I mean, Harry
he's been doing to the
he went out.
Commander-in-Chief.
He actually broke the code. He talked about going out there shooting. I mean, he
boasted
Oh,
about
come on,
his
loads of SIA guys have done that.
Yeah, but
SAS.
he's made himself more vulnerable.
I agree.
He's not particularly bright. I think
No, he's
when
not.
you go out there, you think all the people that would perhaps want to do him harm. He wanted to add to that and says, "Look, I've killed a lot."
Absolutely right.
Come on now, dog.
It was just kind of
I think there's too much wacky-backy in California, unfortunately. But that's just an allegation.
Okay.
Unsubstantiated, apart from regular confessions in his book. Thank you to my star panel. Much appreciated. Uncensored next. A Christian teacher is banned from the profession for using the wrong pronouns to a transgender pupil. It's the first case of its kind in the UK, and he joins me live after the break.